All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Starladder iLeague Invitational. We've got Team Empire taking on Kaipi, some newly formed rosters here in the European qualifier to see who's going to join the LAN finals in Kiev. And it's going to be a couple weeks' time. Things are happening very fast here in the Starladder Invitational, and they'll be joining some of the invited teams to compete for $100,000. And well, we'll find out which team will make their way out of Europe. Part of that step is going to happen today. We've got Empire versus Kaipi. I'm GoDz. Joining me is Blaze. Blaze, how you doing, buddy?
Well, had an interesting start to my day. Up bright and early. I've been doing a lot of American Dota and raring to go. Got all this whole with all these new rosters. I'm like, okay, well, let's research all the players. Got all 10 tabs up for each and every one of the players. Ready to tweet everything out, and then I go to grab a drink, and my son turns off my computer. So
yes,
yeah.
So a couple delays getting things started. That was one of the reasons. Then we couldn't actually get him back in the lobby, which was something to do with some bug we found in Dota 2 where we couldn't actually get you back in the lobby. But it was quite an event.
Yeah, it's just the wonderful things you can never prepare for.
That's one of those things, like when someone asks for a pause and they give some ridiculous, outlandish reason, and you're just like, no, that can't be true. Like, oh, my baby son just turned my PC off accidentally. It's like, and I'm just like sitting there like, are you serious? I told the players in the lobby that, and they just started laughing. They were just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Is this a thing? And then when it was like 5 minutes later, and then Dota was not letting you back in, then they started like, oh, can we please start? Let's go, guys. Come on now.
Definitely. I could definitely empathize with that. But we got the game underway, man, and I'm pretty excited. I mean, we got the new roster for both sides, and going to be seeing 7-Mad draft up against Afterlife. And what do you think about these teams? I've kind of have mixed opinions about it, but obviously there's some potential.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Kaipi, a lot of great individual players who've been on successful teams in the past. I mean, look at like Bone7 back on the Cloud9 days. You've got fucking Mad, who's captained, not just been on really successful teams in the past. So there's definitely a lot of talent on this Kaipi side. Team Empire, I mean, I kind of look at it and just like group them together with so many of those just like Dark Horse CIS teams. Like they have such high potential. Will they fulfill it? Who really knows? Ramsey is one of those players who's just incredibly talented. He's kind of like a breakout star right now. Whether he's going to kind of live up to the expectations put on him, that's like a big if as well. So I'm curious to see what's going to come out from these teams.
Yeah, and already going to be seeing some very active and aggressive drafts. I mean, obviously the global presence from Kaipi is something that they're going to be able to bring to the laning phase very early on. The Nature's Prophet TPing in to kind of turn like 3v3 situations into like 4 versus 3, add in a Sunstrike on top, and you're always going to have a numbers advantage for a lineup like Kaipi. So you're always going to be able to push early because you got all the summons to work with, and it's going to be an Empire to kind of withhold that. I mean, they still want to gank with the Earth Spirit, they still want to find opportunities, but they have to realize that there's some risk in that. Unless you're actually ganking the Furion himself or the Invoker himself, you have to kind of account for this unknown factor, somebody on the sidelines that's still contributing.
I feel like this PL is actually going to be the mid response. This is what we saw come out of MVP, and well, they took it from TNC previously. This is like that. Okay, you picked Invoker. We're going to run a PL mid and try and to have him go head to head with you. Because I'm really surprised by seeing a first stage PL pick, if not for that reason, as like that kind of pseudo counter pick for the mid lane.
Yeah, we have been seeing a lot more mid PL than anything else, but I'm curious though, because obviously Empire's mid laner, at least you would imply, is going to be a Scandal. I mean, this guy has so much mid experience, and almost all of it recently has been on intelligence-based heroes. So a lot of spell casting, much more so than carrying, and I feel like that is a different playstyle shift. Do you think they're actually going to maybe send their one position into their mid, or do you think they're going to just have to adjust?
I think the way PL's played mid is not like a true carry in the classic sense. Like you're going to run like another carry / safe lane farmer as well with it. So it doesn't necessarily. I mean, in the laning stage, you are casting spells. You're throwing Spirit Lances at your enemy. You're dodging spells with Doppelganger. So I don't think it's too much of a shift for a mid player to start playing a PL. In the actual laning stage, to me, playing PL is like no different to playing like a Queen of Pain or something. You throw your nukes, you last hit, you try and dodge spells. You've got a mobility spell. Like it's not too much of an adjustment. The mid to late game, yeah, like if you're transitioning into that late game carry PL, then it kind of maybe whether you played the hero before does come into play.
Sure. So, in the meantime, we're going to be seeing the supports picked up for Kaipi. So, I've got the Witch Doctor and the Enigma. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see if these guys can actually get their full potential out, because obviously, channeled abilities have the limitations, especially against a hero like Earth Spirit with two ways to cancel it out. I figure that you could probably reliably get the Death Ward out if you keep your distance, but now you're up against a Rubik, and there's just a lot of ways the Enigma Black Hole can be turned against you.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I like the Rubik a little bit versus the Enigma, but I still feel like you're not picking the Enigma ever just solely for the black hole. It's a
Sure.
good. I think you're like the Rubik pick is fine here, just because it's like a Rubik. It's gonna fit in nicely as like a just safe lane support to go with some kind of carry that whether it's the PL or someone else. But picking it just purely to counter the black hole is probably not a good reason to go into a Rubik pick. But there is some concern for me, like with looking at Kaipi's draft. They have like they hit this timing where they're going to have mech early on the Enigma. They have the Forward Spirits on Invoker. They have the Voodoo Restoration from Witch Doctor. You've got Nature's Prophet. Everything just screams like mid-game push. Like 15, 20 minutes in, they can take towers, and whether or not Empire's going to be ready to deal with that is kind of a big question mark for me.
Mm-hmm. So I did look real quick at Scandal's history, both pub and pro. He has never played competitive Phantom Lancer, and he has only played 20 pub games in his entirety of Dota 2. So maybe it is something you could see in scrims, but it is definitely going to be something there where you're kind of more emulating other people's playstyle. You're probably looking at replays, seeing exactly what they do, and just monkey do with that. Because as far as actual like muscle memory, there's not going to be much of it there. Kaipi down to the last pick here. We're going to be seeing just 4 intelligence heroes. I feel like they need something that kind of ties it all together in terms of like team fights, but they also need something that can scale pretty well. So I'm not exactly sure. Gyrocopter is actually pretty much perfect for that.
Team fight scales pretty well, has it all. And Empire, last pick Broodmother. I don't think that's something Kaipi had in mind, given the Beastmaster and PL already being picked up, but this puts PL elsewhere. Puts the Beastmaster elsewhere. He's not likely going to not be in the offlane now and instead be played in kind of I kind of want to say mid lane role, but it's actually Ramses who's picked up the Beastmaster, so who knows what we're seeing out of this new Team Empire. We don't even, like, there's speculation, okay, Sandal should be playing mid, Ramses should be playing safe lane, Afterlife should be the offlaner, but are we even going to see that here?
I actually think Ramses could easily take the Beastmaster to the safe lane and be very happy with that. I think that like the way he plays strength cores in the safe lane, I think he plays a Timbersaw in the safe lane, the way he snowballs it, the way he builds it up is actually really effective. And it makes it very difficult for Singh to get involved in the off lane. Just direct contestation is not going to be very clear cut, because you've got pretty good supports in Miposhka and Kingar roaming around, Earth Spirit and Rubik very gank oriented, and just a simple Beastmaster slow from the boar, and they're going to be right up on top of you. So I think either Singh's going to have some really good wards, or he's going to mostly stick to the jungle. Okay,
well, we'll get things underway here. Game 1 of this best of 3 between Kaipi and Empire. It is single elimination, so loser of this series will be going home. Early Sunstrike's coming out. Cancel, I want to say almost like one of his signature heroes. Every time I've cast this guy playing in competitive, I feel like he's almost always on Invoker. Same for when he's streaming. This guy, I've tuned in to stream a few times, and it seems he just loves to play Invoker. Very, very proficient in the Exort Invoker especially.
Yeah, and definitely a comfort hero for him, and it's something that he's been able to show off more since the hero's actually hit its prominence. I think a lot of like latent and resonant Invoker players have just been waiting for the opportunity for him to be viable again, and this 6 months window is definitely that time. So we'll see what he can do in terms of the global Sunstrike action. My big thing is actually when Bone 7 first rotates. At level 6, the Chinese teams will often TP the Gyrocopter to a mid-tier 2, smoke him up, get him involved, and I feel like early involvement for the Gyrocopter would do them a lot of favors. So, I mean, obviously, you still have to worry about your safe lane tower if the Broodmother is pushing it, but I like the idea of Gyrocopter getting involved in starting fights so that they can start taking towers.
Yeah, and this goes like that TI5 aggressive style of Gyrocopter we've seen so much of during and since TI, and even since TI still today. But looks like for now both teams are going to set down. Brute started off by going top and dropping a web, and that web was in Radiant Vision, so a bit of mind games perhaps coming out from Afterlife, wanting to mislead Kaipi into thinking that he is going towards that top lane, but it doesn't feel like Kaipi have changed up anything based on this. They're going to continue with the Nature's Prophet in the offlane and run the Gyrocopter down bottom with the support of the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, it's a cute little play, and I think in other situations that would actually work. Like there are certain like hero counters towards Broodmother that you are forced to try to make that lane matchup happen. The Gyrocopter's kind of like 50-50 against the Broodmother, and he's not fully compelled to go for it. It doesn't seem like it's something that where they're like, oh, we see a web, we have to go. But mid lane is already some action here. Spirit Lance and the Rolling Boulder, but they're not going to die. They're just going to burn some HP.
And the Exort Invoker are much more vulnerable to the PL mid. Like playing across Wex, you have a lot more defensive options. You've got better sustain, just more HP in general with the Quas points, more HP regen. But going for the early Exort means this Invoker can be bullied a lot more in lane and has to be very wary of this Earth Spirit who's nearby.
Yeah, the problem with that logic is then you have a Quaswex Invoker, which I don't think really suits this situation too well. Quaswex can be great if you're up against like very mana-intensive supports. If it's like a healing push lineup that will probably get 2 or 3 Arcane Boots and rely on them heavily, then yeah, the Quaswex Invoker does a lot of work. But here, like you need Exort so badly because you're just looking for damage. You really need to make sure that you get the kills early in the fights.
It fits with the overall, like you say, the damage, but even just in general, their lineup wants to be able to push and break towers, and that's where the Exort obviously makes a lot more sense. So we'll see. Early on, cancelled, not able to really even leave his side of the river here. Earth Spirit just
look, real quick, just look
around.
bottom at the Sentry Ward action. There was a Sentry Ward over here for Afterlife, and he couldn't see Come With Me's Sentry in the tree. That is a Sentry put it within 4 trees, and Afterlife could not find it. So he's wasted both his Sentry Wards, and Come With Me is going to maintain control of this lane.
This is, as long as they can maintain this creep equilibrium, Brood can't really push up here. He's hit level 2, but he hasn't got any Spiderlings to work with, and he may actually struggle to get any more XP out of this lane as a result. So, drops out another web, but I'm not sure how well this is going to end for him. He Tango's up Afterlife inside the sentry range, taking more damage here. Gets out of sentry range. He's just trying to figure out where the sentries are, so he knows if it's safe to... Like, okay, he's like, alright, there's no sentries here, it's safe to leech XP. Because right now, that's all he can get out of this lane, and he's just going to be happy with that. Gets a Spiderling or 2.
He's going to bring the dust, though. This should be a first blood.
Yep. Nice play. Afterlife couldn't react to it in time. You look at that and you're like, oh, I could have gone for a Courier Snipe, but the Courier just delivered it from safe enough distance.
And we're going to see Scandal going on in mid here, but he's going to get the reinforcement of the Enigma. So a lot of mini stunts for the Cold Snap, and the Malefice will turn it around, and Scandal can't finish the job.
Yep. Cancel has the Salve as well, so he's going to sustain himself in this lane. He's got absolutely terrible CS, but that's, again, what you'd expect against the PL with a roaming Earth Spirit. That's just a lane that's not manageable. Anytime that pushes away, you're in trouble.
And Dust bottom. Afterlife tries to go in, goes down again. This lane couldn't be going worse for the Broodmother. It really comes down to the detection early. The fact is, because of the way they're keeping the equilibrium back, and if you just click on the circles of the sentries, like there's no safe zone to the northern part of this lane. He has to go and commit, and as soon as he does, he's completely revealed.
It's really been a great support play coming out from Come With Me on the Witch Doctor. And that's something where it was the 10th pick of the entire draft. They saw the entire Kaipi draft when they went for this. Oh wait, did they see the Gyrocopter yet, or did that come? I think
the Gyrocopter was after, but
okay.
I wouldn't even say that that's the hardest counter or hardest answer. It's
very much a good hero to have in lane against the Brood, but it's not a counter by any means.
Sure.
But I mean, this is such a great game to show how to deal with the Brood in the offlane when you've just got like a standard zoning support plus just carry who's maybe not and with no real Brood counters, just good sentry positioning, good dust usage, and they've managed to shut down the Brood's early game. Brood's still a hero though. You get a few more levels, you build that Spiderling army, you get involved in a kill. This Brood's game is not over just yet.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with you, but he doesn't even have a Soul Ring yet. Like 4 minutes in, all he's hitting on is 2 Clarities and a Recipe. Like he's getting nothing here. And there's another Sentry that will come down, and he doesn't have the Tangos to break the other Sentry ward. So
he can Tango that. He's just gonna right-click it down, and not looking like a very fun lane for him. And then you've got the kind of X factor of Sing Sing, who's got level 3, approaching level 4. More importantly, the Phase Boot's coming online soon. Once he starts getting active on the map, that's where towers will start to fall, and Empire will just be outnumbered in any engagement that they look to take. And what the plan's going to be here. Ramsey's on the safe lane Beastmaster, quickly approaching level 6, so probably that level 6 Beastmaster role is just going to be crucial for this Empire team to start making something happen.
Yeah, and I'm curious if they're going to have to smoke for it too, because if you look at just ward vision in general, it's not just the central wards bottom. The observers and mid are really effective at keeping the Evoker safe from the Earth Spirit, and it's just like, where do you find that opening? Maybe you can kill the offlane Nature's Prophet. A kill is a kill, but it's probably one of the less valuable ones.
And even to that extent, it's such an obvious move. Like, Sing is probably singing this offlane like, okay, this Beastmaster... The second Beastmaster's level 6, he's telling his team. The second he goes missing from the lane, again, he's telling his team, like, hey, Beastmaster's missing. He may have TP'd to a lane. Be ready for it. And it's just like a very easy-to-read play for Kaipi. So instead, it looks like rather than rotate the Beastmaster, they're going to bring heroes top and just take down a tower. Because this is... Like, you TP to another lane, go for a kill and you don't get it. You've just wasted a ton of time. And you're going to lose out. But guaranteeing yourself a tier 1 tower here, at least going to put some pressure onto Kaipi.
Yeah, at least look at that. And the summons will going to do their work. Actually, Sing Sing just walks right into the roar.
They'll get this kill, and Sing Sing goes down, unable to keep his tower alive because of that necessarily. Or we'll also have to wait and see, as there maybe could be some rotations coming out. Mad does have a TP on the Enigma, but I'm not sure if this is going to be a tower that can really be protected. And yeah, Kaipi are just going to let this one go down.
Yeah, he thought he was safe in the fog of war, at least just the blindness factor, but that Hawk does scout him out over the tree line, so I just can't play like that even at nighttime. It's really going to be about just kind of staying away from the threat range of each individual hero. But anyways, Rubik's still not getting that much experience, still looking towards his level 5. He really wants to get level 6 this game as soon as possible, because then he can actually start addressing the other lanes, and they're going to need to, because rather than doing traditional Broodmother things and pushing down the enemy's tier 1 in their safe lane, we actually see the potential for Furion to like knock that down in a good 30-second window. There's so much push potential between the Enigma and the Nature's Prophet, especially since the Enigma is level 7.
Unfortunately for Sing, he respawns TP's bottom with Dust, but doesn't actually manage to find Afterlife there and rotates back into the jungle, but there's only so much jungle farm to go around between the Enigma, the Nature's Prophet. At some point, you're like, look, we're not going to be able to all just be greedy farm our jungle. Someone's going to make a move. Mad's picked up a smoke now, so likely going to be looking for that first black hole kill. Even if it's just a solo kill on one of these core heroes, it's an ultimate maybe worth using at this stage of the game. Does feel like Brood is starting to regain some control of this bottom lane. Has managed to build up a bit of spiderlings here and there. Has got level 5, has got the boots plus Soul Ring, so this lane getting a bit more manageable for Brood.
Yeah, I mean, the Such Reward network is still going to be there, and Gyrocopter has 3 points of flak, so I don't think there's going to be any real struggle for the Bone 7, but on the other hand, at least Afterlife is getting something out of the lane. He did go for boots, which is a little bit odd. Oftentimes you'll say that Broodmother doesn't even need boots, as long as he stays in the webs. He can go for something a little bit different earlier. But
they found Earth Spirit here. Smoke rotation in from Mad. They're going to bring down the Earth Spirit, no problems. Meanwhile, bottom lane Raw comes out, Bone 7. That's a Necrobook already, level 1. I say level 1 as if that's better than any other Necrobook. It's the worst of them all, but 8 minutes in having a Necrobook up, Ramses finds a big kill on the Gyro, and that transitions into a tower.
They're going to obviously take tit for tat and go for the push up top, but just getting that kill on the Gyrocopter is so massive. Obviously going to be delaying his SNY buildup, which allows him to fight very effectively, and more importantly, just taking away his safe farming area. Like, now that they're going to be able to push Afterlife into the jungle, the Gyrocopter's not going to have a clear location to farm and build itself up.
It secures so much more farm for the Brood, like you say. Like, not just can the Brood pressure the Radiant jungle, take away from Kaipi, but you take that farm for yourself. So Afterlife can now farm this bottom lane, farm the Radiant jungle, and apply a lot more pressure while maintaining his own economy game. And they're going again. Bone 7's come right back down to this bottom lane. A TP coming in. It looks like they won't be able to get much out of this, as Mad on the Enigma does have Black Hole, but even the PLs here possibly looking to cut off the rotating Enigma from the mid lane. Rotating Invoker from the mid lane. Cancel actually blocks himself with the Forward Spirit Summon. Goes into a Ghost.
They got the Such Reward
there, and Cancel pulled back in, unfortunately. Bit of a misplay there with the Forward Spirit Summon completely body blocking himself, and Empire find a big kill on the Invoker.
There's one thing I could say about both these teams right here, just in the European scene in general, is preparation is a key factor. These Sentry Wards, this Dust, they're coming out. Whenever they're going for a kill, they know that they're going to be necessary versus Ghostwalk versus the Brood. There's been a lot of plays throughout the different regions. I've tested a little bit SEA, a little bit NA, and there's some random slip-ups here and there where there's just somebody walks away because of a detection factor. But now these guys are ready to go for the big fights. And a hero like Rubik, the safe lane support, bringing the Sentry Wards here before the 10-minute mark, this definitely shows that they have the intention to slay. They want to go for the gank plays, and the next play is down bottom, where Bone 7 has thankfully eluded their gaze.
You see just an Earth Spirit up top, and you're like, where's this rest of this team? If they're going to defend mid, well, that's fine. They're going to defend mid, but you don't know that that bottom lane's safe, so he's not going to show up anywhere near the Brood, as well as the roaming Beastmaster, who's completely taken over this Radiant jungle. But good news for Kaipi is that this 5-man of theirs is pretty damn potent, and this is before
massive,
they even have a mech. This is, before any of their... They don't have the drums on Nature's Prophet, they don't really have... they don't even have that many levels on a lot of these heroes, but they push.
And the big thing
so
is,
fast.
there's no wave clear. There's absolutely no way for Empire to deal with this. They don't have Wild Axis skilled, and other than that, they have Fade Bolt. I mean, that's nothing. So they really don't have any consistent way of dealing with this, especially since Voodoo Restoration is there sustaining it at level 2.
I actually love this Gyrocopter build too. It's actually much better than the Rocket Barrage for pushing, because you know Empire's not going to want to engage into all your summons, so he's just going to throw homing missiles at them, force them to back off. You don't really have any opportunities to use the Rocket Barrage, so this build from Bone 7 actually kind of synergizes very well with the overall game plan.
Absolutely. They're just constantly, as far back as possible, poking and prodding at the waves, but not really able to do anything directly about it. You compare the Phantom Lancer for Scandal to a Queen of Pain, but the one thing that the Phantom Lancer is lacking comparatively is that AoE clear. Like, he can do absolutely nothing in these situations where the towers are just getting pushed down.
He's a full 1k net worth ahead of the Invoker. I mean, that's kind of what the pick is designed to do. And speaking of the Invoker, may fall even further behind as a raw kill coming in. Not going to happen, though. Cancel managed to get off the Ghost Walk. Just narrowly, as Ramses will be forced back a bit. Steal some of that jungle farm. Just the Necro 2. If it's a Necro 3, that would have been a kill. Now we're going to see Empire go for a bit of a counter push of their own, swinging towards this bottom lane with the Necrobooks. No Glyph available, no Tower Deny as well.
Oh, but...
Now, yeah. Ramses, this cooldown going to come in, then Black Hole just on one, but make sure they get the Beastmaster without any casualties.
And they'll still turn it into a second kill.
Oh, yeah.
The King R rocket connects.
Yep. I just, when Kaipi hit their item timings, they're just going to start barreling down lanes. Like the SMY Gyrocopter, the drums on Nature's Prophet. The Witch Doctor just maybe wants a couple more points in Voodoo Restoration. And then you've got, I guess Invoker's just going to go for a Midas here so he can kind of scale more towards the late game. But the mech on the Enigma, which is already up now, so... perhaps more importantly, the Greaves. I'd love to see him brush the Greaves. The cooldown reduction from 65 to 45 seconds makes a big difference when you want to just continually 5-man push and just try brute force your way through the Empire defense.
Yeah, I mean, if the Gyrocopter gets a BOT build and is able to respond to the Brood and then jump back to assist his allies, I think that's the best way to do it. Go Dominator, BOT. Oh, he's actually got the phase boost, so it's going to be hard for Bone 7 to kind of bounce back and forth, but at least the Nature's Prophet can. Maybe go Drum into Maelstrom and try to go for that kind of infinite sustained push. But Stun will connect onto the Witch Doctor, so they are going to make a exaggerated rotation down to bottom and at least find the support.
Yeah. So Invoker finally getting that Midas. This is a very late Midas, and looking at Cancel, he's only level 8, so definitely, I'm sure if the side of Kaipi, they would have liked a few more levels on this Invoker. I mean, they don't even have the double Forge Spirit yet, and that's actually going to lead into Empire actually taking Roshan for themselves. Kaipi potentially could have contested this if they knew exactly what's going on, but right now, vision a little bit limited for them. They've got a couple nice wards up, but you don't really know for sure what you're walking into, and Empire are just so ready to fight. Necrobook, level 2, about to hit level 3. That Necro 3 timing this early on is really hard to fight into, and that's actually going to be anyone getting Rawed is almost a guaranteed kill at this point.
So, just the summoners pushing up top for now. I'm going to be able to obviously put a big dent in this tower, but I also think they're a little bit vulnerable. I mean, this is pushing into an Aegis lineup. It means that Scandal's going to be very aggressive here and not really fearing for his own life, as they can just follow through and get kills in exchange. So, it's going to be a pretty big, heavy clash, but slowly Kaipi are getting everybody reinforcing this top lane, and the Brood really doesn't want to fight. She's going to keep pushing bottom.
Yep. See what the next move's going to be. Beastmaster's still not buying his Necro 3 just yet. I feel like that's going to be a big boost in their just overall damage output as well as utility here. They're going on Mad at the top lane. He's in trouble. He pops the mech, but is it going to be enough damage to bring him down with the Magnetize? You betcha. The Death Ward trying to counterplay onto Scandal. Scandal, he's got the Aegis though, so he's going to be coming back to life soon. This is looking terrible for Kaipi. They've only taken out Nerd Spirit to start things off. King R, what's he stolen? It's a flat cannon on a Rubik. Not the spell you're looking for, but with the Raw on a Bone 7, that's going to lead into a TP out from Sing. Scandal's chasing once Bone 7. He's got SMY. He's very fast with the phase boots. Goes for the TP out and he'll narrowly escape. But at bottom lane, Brood, oh, by the way, has just split pushed a tier 3 tower down.
Exactly.
They win that fight at top lane without the Brood. That's a full. I mean, you could say 4v5. They did have Aegis, so it obviously wasn't.
Yeah, I think the
pure
Aegis is the
4v5.
big factor there. There's nobody that can actually frontline hard enough on Empire unless you have an Aegis the Immortal. So I think that the Scandal being able to just soak up all that damage was a very key factor to their game plan, because otherwise you have to have like the Earth Spirit up there, and he's just going to die before he even gets 2 or 3 stones down for the Magnetize. So it was very, very important that they got the PL Aegis and got him involved there, but the fact that they're able to push down 2 towers in the process is just incredible. It's definitely what they needed.
Mads walked into a Beastmaster, immediately getting a Boar on him as well as the Mana Burn, and he's just going to get solo killed here by Ramses. Didn't even need the Roar, but there is a return kill, and that's not going to end up being the most efficient trade here. Singh getting the kill and the Necrobook money going the way of mostly, entirely to cancel. So a big gold gain there. You look at like maybe 500 gold out of the Necrobooks with the Hawk and the Boar, as well as the 1-for-1 kill exchange, so that gold change not telling the true story of what just happened.
Yeah, and the Midas, of course, from cancel is still going to allow him to build up. Even though you're pushing as 4 or 5 heroes, you're still actually getting a lot of experience in the Invoker, because the Midas is selfish experience. You're the only one getting it. You're not splitting it with your teammates. So it's not really hurting the Invoker's build up. But, of course, feeding all those kills away still gives Empire that 2k experience lead, and they are building themselves up quickly. But I almost feel like Empire, they have to kind of look at the next stage of the game and wonder, what are they actually going to be able to do with their next set of items? I mean, obviously the Beastmaster has his Necro 3. That's amazing. Maybe goes AC or something next. But like, other than the Veil of Discord coming out on the Earth Spirit, I'm not really seeing any more power spikes for Empire soon.
Well, I think that's one of the struggles as far as how the drafts match up. Is this is the Necro 3 timing is meant to be the power spike, but he's hit his big power spike at the time where Kaipi have hit theirs. And I just goes Kaipi's just looks all around stronger. Like when Kaipi group up as 5. With these teamfight items, the mech, the drums, and all the summons and sustain that the Witch Doctor brings to the table, having this one hero, the Beastmaster, doesn't really look like to me like it's going to match up to that.
Free pickup on the Come With Me, at least, as they boulder smash him, pop everything. You don't even need to commit the Roar in case there are other heroes to reinforce it. But yeah, I feel like the big thing is that I don't think Empire can rely on Roshan to tip the scales the next time. I mean, the respawn may be coming out in like 5 or 6 minutes, but whether or not that's actually going to be a free pit for them it really depends on Kaipi. If they're able to scout it out with one of their summons, then they should be able to get into that pit and get involved.
Yeah. What do you think Afterlife's going? He's picked up a Yash. Is he looking to turn this into something, or just a casual pickup?
I mean, I don't really see much reason to go all the way for the SNY or the Manta style. You definitely can. I mean, SNY is not bad if you just want to cruise and stay right on top of somebody. But I would definitely look towards like syncing up Necro 3s. Obviously, Aura items have been very powerful in the past, like Vlad's and AC are something that either the Beastmaster or the Brood need to pick up soon. So I would just keep it as a casual Yasha, but obviously he has the option.
Okay. We'll see in due time. PL, meanwhile, he's just completed his defusal, so I guess this is like a pretty small little... It's a decent power spike, at least in what the PL can do in these 5-star engagements. Yeah. He's in really good fighting shape now with the travels as well as defusal. If he can kind of sit around the edge of a fight, just keep throwing a few lances and not take too much damage, he's going to offer a lot to his team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's not much to purge in this game. It's not like you're facing off against some of those heavy buffers here. The Alacrity is probably the only actual dispellable component. So you're really just going to be getting some chain slows. If Kaipi start losing a fight, you're going to be able to follow through. You've got Earth Spirit, you've got a very fast Brood, you've got this chase potential with the Diffusal Blade, and now the Blink Dagger. Like, if the Empire start winning a fight, they can keep winning a fight and chase them to the ends of the earth, chase them back to the Radiant base. And that's a real strong point of Empire's lineup. But generally speaking, if Kaipi are positioned right, they shouldn't be losing the engagement in the first place.
They know what to position themselves towards this top lane. 2 heroes have smoked out. Oh, sorry, 3 now with Bone 7 following behind. And what exactly is going to be the plan here? They haven't got any wards to put down, but they are on the hunt for a kill. Nature's Prophet can always TP, and Invoker can always offer Sunstrike support. So in some ways, you've got the presence of 4.5, 5 heroes here. And PL in the trees has to be very, very careful of this one. The wraparound is coming in. Kaipi. They realize something's up here. They're going to see Singh get initiated on. He's going to take the Roar, and I don't really see a way out of this for Sing, but the counterplay is going to be there. Man, who's he going to go for? He goes for Silhouette on the PL with the solo Black Hole. They'll secure that kill, and they should be out. Yep, they'll finish off Ramses as well, so...
And it didn't take too much time either, so they can defend bottom in the same breath. It's actually really important.
I feel like that's like, at this stage, the PL is like, to a large extent, the late game. So using a black hole to kill him is perfectly justified. The bottom lane, they're going with the Ray Tracks. Mad TP's in and just immediately gets taken out. Oh boy, didn't even get a chance to use the mech, and Bone 7 going to clean up some Spiderlings, it looks like. Yeah, with that Sentry Ward, Spiderlings don't last for too long, and Brood will be repelled.
I guess it's worth the Enigma dying to save the Raytrax. Like, they commit the spells on him instead of the Gyrocopter, and the Raytrax probably stands as a result. They also have their Glyph up for the next time the Brood tries anything like that.
There is a Brood BKB now, though, so that does make life a little bit more difficult. Looks like, okay, so Rubik took the T1 mid tower, which is what actually refreshed the Glyph there, and we'll see Rubik now. Aether Lens picked up, King R. Level 10, and looking at some of the spell steals available, he's currently not even holding on to any spells because there's been so little kind of action for the Rubik, but Black Hole, of course, the big one. A couple of Invoker
I've only really
spells,
seen
always
Flat
nice.
Cannon. Has he gotten anything good?
I really don't think I've seen really anything else this entire game, but all the kills he's been involved in have just been like, okay, we just killed Nature's Prophet, and
yeah,
you could still like Treants or something, like you can farm jungle with Treants. I'll take that as a Rubik.
Sure enough. But it looks like they're still posturing bottom. They'd love to get the jump. Obviously, the closer to the Radiant base they take the fight, the better chance they can turn it into an objective to force down the racks and even more. It's going to be jumping out Sing, but they have the backup in spades.
Oh, Sing though, there's no defensive capabilities outside of the mech, and once that's gone, here comes Brood ready with the BKB, looking to finish off Sing, but we'll need another nuke, and Afterlife has just completely thrown his life away there. We'll see a spell steal onto the Death Ward. Oh, he did not toggle the Voodoo. In comes the Magnetize from the Earth Spirit. He's trying to do a bit of damage here, but already dying means he can't refresh the Magnetize by dropping more stones here. Bones from the front lines, no BKB just yet. He's close to it, but he's going to go down. As he waits to farm, and Empire have at least gotten one kill out of this fight. Cancel, looking to do a bit more damage if possible. Has a Dual Scepter, has both his big spells. Sunstrike, Silhouette! Oh, gets him! Nicely played, Cancel. He knows this hero, he knows it back to front. That is a
that was such. I mean,
very nice Sunstrike.
There were some RNG factors there, like where the actual spawns come in from the illusions of the doppelganger, but that was just so on point. That was absolutely perfect.
It was funny because I'm clicking him like, okay, this is PL in front of him. He can't really go for it. He had all his spells like Yule's, Sunstrike as well as Meteor, but it's so hard to use them against the doppelganger. So he said, I'm just going to hold on to my spells, wait for you to use your doppelganger, and then try and land my Sunstrike. And he just does it perfectly. Now towards the mid lane. Is he going to go for this? He's going to blink Yule's, but he is in so deep here. He's going for it. He's got the Sunstrike, the Meteor, the Deafening Blast. There's your pub combo. Doesn't quite have the damage. It looks like 100 HP. Ramses will survive on and Cancel. Well, he's going to get punished. He thought he had it.
That might actually open up Roche. That's a 50-second death timer in the Invoker. He doesn't want to buy back into.
Big mistake in the end. It's one of those things where if it works, you look amazing. Like, all right, you're like, yeah, man, that's the Invoker play you're looking for. But when it backfires, it's a travesty. It's absolutely catastrophic to lose. Like, getting the kill does not really. It maybe would have opened up this bottom lane to push the tier 1, tier 2 tower. On the back lines, we'll see a BKB Brood. Go on to Mad here on the Enigma. No TP Cancel available, and the Lance just narrowly not landing.
Still Roche.
Yeah, still Roche. Brutal. Missed the kill on the Enigma, but like you say, getting Roshan is the big objective here.
So, would you say this Broodmother's BKB has been effective? I mean, the first one, he ran in, he didn't even get the spawn startling kill before the Death Ward took him down.
I don't want to say it's the item choice, I just want to say it's like some of his... the way he's approached the fights, or the way his team as a whole has sometimes approached these fights.
Yeah, I'm just worried, like, usually you look at BKB, the first 3 charges are the high impact points. It's going to be going down to 5 seconds very quickly, and then it's like, okay, well, why'd I go BKB in the first place?
Yeah. We'll see how he manages moving forward. Ramses is going to TP top, defend the tier 2 after getting and securing Roshan for the team. They're actually thinking about going in on this one, Kaipi. They're lurking around this top lane. They throw a Sprout for a bit of extra vision. But nearby is both Earth Spirit as well as Rubik and Nature's Prophet, as well as Bone 7 on the Gyrocopter. Maybe overseeing their welcome here. Gyro has a TP to escape fairly soon. It's going to be Sing with backup nearby. Enigma has smoked up, so it looks like Kaipi are kind of considering making a big commitment towards his top lane. They would be fighting into an Aegis, though, which seems a little bit ill-advised.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult engagement. They have to make sure that they start off with at least one guaranteed kill, if not two, with that like smoked blink black hole. But they're just too tentative about it. They're gonna have to fall back because they know that if they even commit to a fight up top, Afterlife will take a ranged barrack spot them.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to make sure they maintain that equilibrium, being pushed up on them with the creep waves, and BKB on Bone 7 gives them a bit more just ability to push out these lanes, although he does have to be very wary of what the Beastmaster Roar can bring to the table.
Yeah, it comes down to whether or not he knows. He should not be up like this if he doesn't see the Beastmaster. That's actually could be a huge mistake that he pays for, but
not gonna come in.
They didn't see the alternative factor of that is that Kaipi were off the map as well, so it definitely puts some fear in Ramses. He's not as confident.
If he gets the BKB off before the Roar, he probably survives just the two heroes there, though. Like, because then you don't get the damage from the Mana Burn and the full damage out of the Necro Warriors with the Mana Break. So actually, Mana Break is physical. I didn't actually realize that until I read it.
It's physical damage, but
it doesn't
go
through Magic.
It's like Diffusal, yeah. It does not go through Magic Immunity.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that makes sense. And
Dota rules, man. Dota rules.
I see physicals. I'm like, oh, physical damage goes through BKB, but no, it's obviously doesn't go through the Magic Immunity aspect. So cancel now. Picks up a point booster. Dire vision of this area, somewhat limited outside of this Hawk. They don't want to move it in too close. I'm trying to keep it alive. And for now, looks like Empire just happy to get what farm they can on their side of the map. They've gone into a Blink Dagger for the PL. He's holding on to this Aegis, but no signs that they want to go for a push just yet, despite having the Aegis. I think they really want to get a pick off with their draft, and they don't want to just group up as 5. Very much a draft that's kind of more suited towards splitting the map, finding a pick off on one side, have the Brood split push somewhere else, and use these smokes effectively. And that's what the next play is going to be here. They've smoked up around this mid lane. They're looking for that pick off.
It's good position from Kaipi, though. They're just fully turtled up. They're not going to be exposing like their core heroes on the front line, and that makes it very hard to go.
Blink, Roar, they've gone in on that. Can they bring him down quick enough? Maybe I'll get off a mech here. Gets the mech off. Will it be enough to save him? It looks like just maybe it will. Silhouette in the front lines. Loses Aegis very fast.
Oh, Death Ward stolen again!
Oh boy, Afterlife. He's just going to try to fight his way through the Radiant Death Ward. Meanwhile, Rubik didn't get too much out of his, and it's going to be a Witch Doctor for Brood exchange. Not really the best trade for Team Empire. Sunstrike, ooh, off the mark this time in PL. Everyone on this Empire team, when they go into these fights, like the Brood and BKB form looking very squishy against the Death Ward. The PL just melted. The damage output from Kaipi is freaking scary.
And it's like so well mixed. Like they don't have to really worry about BKBs when they have Death Ward and Black Hole. And then they've obviously got plenty of magical damage from the Invoker as well as the Nature's Prophet now with his axe. That's just the Wrath of Nature alone will do a tremendous amount of magical damage to everyone, and it's actually really scary for Empire because they're taking damage from so many different sources. They don't have a quick and easy way to mitigate it, and the worst thing is that obviously they don't have a mechanism. Earth Spirit went for this very offensive build, the Veil Aether Lens, and while that can definitely create kill opportunities, it's also really weakening Empire's ability to survive through the fights.
Yeah. See Silhouette pick up a Yasha now, just kind of transitioning into your typical kind of carry PL items in some ways, but like you kind of mentioned, all the magic damage from an Invoker, which is all AoE damage, combine that with Gyrocopter who's got flat cannon, they've got pretty decent ways of dealing with the PL in these fights, unless he gets really tanky. I feel like he's going to need a lot of items to be able to kind of fight
he's got a
into
very long
Kaipi.
shopping list.
And by the time he gets like that Skadi Heart, whatever it may be, to start tanking up, at that point Gyro's got MKB or something like a Butterfly, and he's got big right-click damage as well. Bone 7 goes in with a BKB, pops it too early perhaps, or thought Mad had the jump, and Mad did not get the catch there as King Aaron and Ramses managed to find an escape.
And that's actually a pretty big gambit, because Ramses was carrying a Gem and True Sight, so that gives vision back the other way to Kaipi, and that would have taken out the two big Observer Wards that are in play right now for Empire. They have one on the high ground, which actually has a sentry next to it, but they also have one in the Radiant Jungle West, so I feel like that moving like that, it's a gambit. Obviously, they got the BKB, it paid off, but Ramses is playing with fire, trying to go for those blink dodges.
He's often been very much off on his own for a lot of these pickoffs. I mean, both him and Cancel have played kind of similar in that sense, where we see them often find those kills or find like a good initiation, but other times they've been picked off alone. So Ramses, like you kind of alluded to, having a gem, you need to play that a little bit more cautiously, and something you need to be very wary of.
Butterfly going to be the target of choice for Bone 7 on the gyro. He's only got the Talisman of Evasion now, but I feel like that's going to do a lot for him. Like, not having to worry about the Necro Warriors, the Brood Mother, or the PL nearly as much once you have that evasion factor. And I feel like that's actually going to allow him to be the late game carry that Kaipi needs.
And not just Gyrocopter, Sing is actually going to go pretty well. He's gone the Ag Scepter, so it's not going like the DPS fighting nature's profitable, but as far as being able to keep these lanes pushed out and be that kind of late game nuisance with the split push, Sing is already kind of approaching that point.
They still have Death Ward on King R, by the way. He's lurking down bottom, and I think they really want to go on this bottom lane.
King R with 4-staff Aether Lens has got a long cast range on that. He's... You see his teammates TP towards the top lane. It looks like they are hunting. They don't see anyone up top, but there was an Enigma who TP'd out. And Beastmaster, yep, everyone's actually vacated this top lane, so no one to find up here. Searching futilely through the trees. It's Witch Doctor still at the bottom. Oh, sorry, Rubik still at the bottom lane with the Witch Doctor ultimate, who may be the one who can find some kills here. Sing Sing nearby.
It's about to time out, though. They got some Spiderling scouting, saw the high ground, but Sing Sing, if he doesn't go for this wave, he's not going to go down. It's just going to be Bone 7, who's too tanky, has the BKB.
So next Roche sometime in the next 1 to 4 minutes. We'll likely see Empire, though. Like, as much as Kaipi has a great Roche lineup, like they don't want to be pushing out too far. They're being very cautious that they're always dealing with the Brute split push and very wary of Empire's pick-off potential with the Beastmaster. The vision advantage that Empire have right now is massive. Not just from the Beastmaster, but even from the vision. They've got 4 wards spread throughout the map here, and that makes it very easy for Empire to know what's going on the map. Even now, Kaipi, they're smoking up, but when you see no heroes on the map, that immediately kind of raises suspicion, because you've got vision in so much of the map. Like, you have the entire map watered, you see no heroes, you're like, I think they're smoked.
Yeah, and then of course you got the Hawk as well, so it's not just like one bit of vision, it's just so many different instances where they know exactly what's going on. Maposha can even have this flanking position and not be afraid as the Mad Smoke breaks.
Yeah. He popped one and they just didn't quite realize. They ping out the Roche Emperor. I'm not sure if they're going to go back in. They also, I mean, they should know Roche can't have respawned just yet, so they're not even going into the Roche pit to check it because of that. But Maposha's positioning there, just on point.
Yeah. Being able to disengage really effectively if necessary, and we already see Afterlife just beelining bottom. If they try for anything in any other lane, they're immediately going to have to be forced to defend anyway. So
this is where
the really good map control from Empire.
Yeah, and this is where the boots of travel for the Gyrocopter really kind of become a necessity almost. He wants to go into DPS, but at some stage he's going to need that global mobility to deal with the split push.
I mean, hopefully the Aghanim Scepter is enough to dissuade it. Like, obviously, you kill the spiders, you create a lot of trees. So I think there's a lot of value in Sing Sing's build to try to kind of counter push the other way. But yeah, in the end, you can't feel fully confident at using your ultimate and not actually addressing the Broodmother directly.
Roche going to be the priority for Empire. Very fast Roche respawn, but ultimately, I feel like they were going to be able to secure this Roshan. Probably uncontested regardless, unless Kaipi went for that kind of ballsy smoke, which they've done just before
they did
the
smoke.
Respawn.
It's just the vision factor you mentioned before. It's impossible.
They're always kind of guessing as to where heroes are on the map and what Empire are doing, and that's a big concern for them right now. They've got Nature's Prophet. I feel like that's maybe something... Okay, so we see Witch Doctor get down one deep ward, but with even just the treants themselves, I feel Sing maybe needs to prioritize less pushing lanes and just using them as mobile wards at this stage of the game. What do you think happens late game here? Like, is Empire going to struggle really to push high ground, or are they just going to keep on farming and reach this critical mass?
I mean, the biggest problem right now is the lack of AoE disable on Empire. They have like the Boulder Smash, and that's about it. I mean, obviously you can go like Abyssal Blade on the Broodmother. You've got the Roar on the Beastmaster. He's going to have Refresher, which is great late game if you have the mana to support it. It's just the question of whether or not you can lock down enough heroes for enough time really comes to question. Right now they've been playing the map really well, but obviously they still can't take a full confrontation, and they know it. They have to catch them off guard, at least to start off with one kill before Kaipi's ready with all 5.
And often Enigma's kind of talked about as one of those heroes that does kind of become a carry and does scale very well in the late game, but when you've got, I mean, Beastmaster Roar to go through the BKB, you've got Rubik to steal the Black Hole, it really means, I mean, in the same sense, Rubik goes amazing into the late game. So
yes,
we'll see both sides with a lot of heroes that can scale well. The big challenge, like we've kind of talked about, is Empire's ability to push high ground. They're going to BKB Brood just to TP away here. Picks up a Desolator. Interesting little pick-off. Single target damage, and also, I mean, great for the actual, once you get onto the buildings, but I feel like this Brood hasn't actually been right-clicking buildings in a long, long time.
Yeah, not since the damage that was dealt to the range barrack. Still hasn't regenerated 568 HP, but that Sing Sing down bottom looks like he'll be in some trouble. He's got a TP scroll, but they've got so many heroes behind it.
Yeah. No. Get that kill. The tornado coming in, but Sing Sing already brought down, and the chase is on. We'll see if they can catch any more here. Mag could be in some trouble. Does not have a BKB of his own. Has a blink dagger in a couple of seconds. Will he go for the black hole? He's found Silhouette here at the bottom. Mad's going to quickly lose his mind to the Defusal, but he needs to be careful. He may not even have a black hole. He gets it off just in time. Doing good damage to the Phantom Lancer. Silhouette getting low. What's the steal? Is it the black hole?
Yeah,
you betcha. He's going to turn. He's going to throw the black hole onto cancel. The Age is going to pop on the PL. That's why he didn't mind dying to that solo black hole. And Empire, they've lost 2 already, though. Sing with the buyback's done some good damage here. This PL, though, ready to clean up. Afterlife's come in. He's still got his hands on the cheese, and Kaipi going to be forced to disperse. It's not just a buyback, it's a dieback from Sing Sing. Sunstriker? No, not even close.
And I mean, the Roshan leverage is really the name of the game for Empire. Like, all 3 Roshas going to them very cleanly, and then every single time there's a fight shortly thereafter that they're able to make some amazing things happen.
It just allows the PL to just blink onto the Enigma and fight him. And the thing is, if Enigma tries to retreat...
Seven actually might just be dead solo to Scandal,
wow.
because he can't TP. He's going to be diffused, he's going to be purged, and he's out of mana. So there's actually no way to get out of that situation.
He does a buyback, but I'm sure he's not in a position where he wants to use it, although Empire themselves not in a position to necessarily push lanes right now. Beastmaster will be respawning with Boots of Travel, though. But yeah, I mean, as far as that fight goes, like, Silhouette, Scandal, having the Aegis every fight, he blinks on Enigma, and Enigma has no BKB, so if you don't just throw your black hole onto the PL at that point, he's going to burn all your mana, and you don't get any opportunity to black hole. But at the same time, you don't want to solo black hole a PL with an Aegis, but ultimately that's all Mad can do in these fights. Like, if he has to stay hidden in fog the entire basically the entire fight until he's ready to black hole, which is just generally not what you want to do as an Enigma. You want to at least offer some threat and presence, because you've got the mech, you've got the pipe, you need to be moving forward. And speaking of Enigma, he's now been jumped in the top lane. PL's found another kill. Scandal's just tearing through Kaipi, although as he overextended here, he's going to find himself taking a bit of a death ward here, but he gets the kill. Double, looking for the triple. Sing Sing. Don't think he can really fight the PL at this stage of the game. On the backlines, they're going to get the kill on Invoker here. Sing going to TP himself home, and 4 dead. Jaro not going to have to buy back. He will be respawning soon, but...
And PL's got a heart now. He just got it off the courier, so they can keep fighting. They can keep pushing. They can at least force the Invoker buyback. And there it is.
They've got Necrobooks here in the top lane, helping sustain their push. Beastmaster will have the money for the refresher once again. The Range Rex has already been taken in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, the push of the top lane coming in as well. Silhouette gonna dodge most of that damage coming out, and has run out of mana here as well as Diffusal charges. So the sustain not there quite as much, but looks like bottom lane is more where they want to go. Cancel blinks past the Brute, going straight onto Ramses on the Beastmaster. Can he bring down this kill? No buyback on Beastmaster, needs one more bit of damage. He misses the Sunstrike! Oh, Ramses will get out with the blink, and elsewhere Brute has taken out the Melee Rex top lane. They've taken the tier 3 tower, so it's Empire pressing in from multiple lanes and causing all sorts of problems here. They're going to focus the Range Rex for now, knowing that they probably won't be able to stick around for too long. They won't even secure themselves the Range Rex.
The Brute popped the VKB and cheese to kill off the bottom Range Rex, or the Melee Rex, which is obviously important. They need that foothold. They need to get the bottom lane. But other than that, they didn't really get all that much other than the Invoker buyback out of this. So,
they got a tier 3 top tower, though. Like, that was a full HP tower at top.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad at all, but I was actually hoping Empire would have even more going out of this.
It looked like they may just, like, straight up win the game there, if not for a Kaipi hold. That's exactly what Kaipi did. Because that kind of
pick off on Enigma, that's insane. Like, getting that opportunity is not going to happen too many times. I don't think Mad's going to allow the PL to do that every single time that a wave's getting pushed out. I feel like the Empire had a really big opening there, and they do get something major out of it, but it's not game-ending. We're going to see Kaipi move forward here. They have the mech, they have the pipe, all their ultimates, and it looks like they're ready to take this to the high ground. It's a hole in the roars. 2 roars from Scandal, or from Ramses.
Absolutely. He's ready to go. He'll wait for the respawns, I imagine, but Kaipi, it seems like they want to commit to this one. Recognizing this may be one of their few opportunities, but buyback status very good on this dire side. They've got buyback on Beastmaster as well as PL as well as Brute. All 3 of their calls with buyback, so they can take a risky fight here if they feel like they're going to be able to get their rolls off. They get the first off onto Bone 7. And, Invoker on the sidelines as well, looking to Mana Bone. He's going for the second roar. Can he get it? No, he loses his Mana though. Does not get the roar off. Great cold snap. EMP there. And Empire maybe forced back here. The BKB from Bone 7. He's fighting into the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer going to doppelganger away, but they've defended the base. Where's that Sunstrike? He goes for the PL, doesn't actually land it. Not sure he had the damage to get the kill anyways, as Miposhka on the Earth Spirit going to be repelled, and no casualties somehow in that entire fight, but end of the day, a win for Empire, who hold the high ground, and Kaipi don't really gain much from it.
Absolutely. Really good just control in general. They actually comboed up a stolen Midnight Pulse with the Roar, and then later on they get a 2-man Boulder Smash within it too. So Miposhka and as well as Ramses were able to play that fight really well. Again, they couldn't seal the deal with any of these kills. Bone 7's really tanky at this point, and even Cancel's kind of been difficult for them to focus because he's got this a very short cooldown Invoke. But Scandal up top, could this be a blunder? He's got no TP out, and they're just gonna black hole him.
Yep, why not? Definitely a blunder, but by no means a game-losing blunder when you've got buyback there. Because if Kaipi go for a push and you're really threatened, like let's say you're not split pushing the other lanes, that's where you just say, okay, we buy back, and I doubt Kaipi commit to like a... I mean, maybe they will feel like this is one of their big opportunities. Let's push while PL has his buyback on cooldown, but likely we will see that buyback come into play if Empire don't feel they're getting a good trade. And they're looking for the trade. Ramses at bottom has a Shadow Blade to initiate, likely to go for this Invoker kill.
Yeah, this could be huge. Just walking into the base,
full he's got the buyback.
dropping the Roar, that's amazing.
Yeah, and Brood's even here as well if they need a bit of extra damage, and Brood will even secure the kill, making sure Invoker doesn't get a chance to Yules or Ghost Walk. The TP from Witch Doctor not going to amount to much on its own, but the Gyrocopter coming in may help out. The cast somehow finds its way back to the Beastmaster, and with Bone 7 rocking up, he gets the kill on the Witch Doctor. That's the Necrobooks doing that, and Beastmaster will go down, but that's pretty much... On the back lines, yep, Enigma goes down to the Brood. The Necrobook's still there and still kicking. Afterlife will BKB TP, nothing to cancel that one. Homing Missile will bonk him on the head, but that's not going to do a whole lot. So ultimately, yes, Beastmaster dies there, but you get 3 kills and you buy time for the PL to respawn without having to buy back. Definitely a good exchange there for Team Empire.
Just the summons doing their job there. The Necros just sat on the Witch Doctor the entire time. Voodoo Restoration doesn't mean much when they're burning your mana as well, and they just take him down throughout the entire process. So yeah, Ramses is very happy to trade his life there, as he not only buys time for the PL to respawn, but he buys time for his Refresher Orb to come back off cooldown. Yeah. That was a pretty big cooldown committed and wasted in the previous fight, but no, now he's going to have that double roar back up again. And I feel really strongly about Empire's chances of taking the next big fight. Again, taking a free Roshan. 4 free Roshes in a 43-minute game.
It's been such a big part of this game. And this is where before this Rosh, I'm looking like, okay, I wonder what Bone 7 goes next. Like, are things desperate enough to go for Rapier? I'm thinking, yeah, nah, probably not. But with an Aegis Cheese on the dire side, I think you legitimately may consider a Rapier as your next pickup if you're Bone 7, just because of how hard this game is going to be to win.
Yeah. Oh boy. And I mean, obviously then you're just going to see both the Roars going right at you. I mean, could somebody buy a Linketh or a Lotus to help them out? We'll see Miposhka rolling out of that one.
It's a Death Ward going on cooldown now. Homing Missile will chase as the Boulder Smash prevents some of the chase in Earth Spirit. Yeah, he'll get the TP out with the Homing Missile just pursuing. King Out could be in some trouble here. Has a lot of mobility items, but won't get a chance to use the Blink Dagger. Not the biggest loss for Team Empire, who still have plenty of time left on this Aegis. So they're not in a rush to necessarily push with it, and even regardless of breaking another lane of Rex with this Aegis, like I feel like they're still in a pretty good position just to farm and continue to transition into the late game. PL, still probably, he can replace the Aegis with another kind of good late game item. Brood's got kind of room to get something like an AC. Beastmaster's doing pretty well, but still has an empty item slot as well, so we'll see what Kaipi can get done. They're actually just pushing straight into Team Empire here. Not afraid of this Aegis.
Yeah, Afterlife's even like right here, ready to go, and I mean obviously they had the flank of the Beastmaster now going in on Bone 7.
Bone 7 roared up, loses a lot of his mana here, but managed to get the BKB up. Afterlife gets Black Holed with Scandal! What a hole, and this is the beauty of the Rubik being dead. No hold steal. Mad gets off the kill into the Brood to start things off, and they're looking for the second. It's going to be Scandal going down. He's got the Aegis, though. Definitely something to keep in mind. As this, oh my gosh, this Magnetize just continuing to like shred through heroes left, right, and center. Sing Sing on the back foot, going to sprout himself up, but he's already gone down, and things starting to swing the way of Team Empire. They won't get the TP out from the Witch Doctor. Beastmaster, oh, nope, he doesn't get hit by that Sunstrike. That would have been a big kill if he could get that one, but it's a 3-for-1 in the end. Aegis goes down and immediately Sing buys back. I think recognizing that, hey, I just need to start pressing out these lanes. I've got this Octarine Axe build. My value comes from being alive and just spamming my ultimate, spamming trees every single lane possible.
And it seems like Empire have just been able to mitigate that quite effectively because they've never really had any issue of at least pushing out bottom and usually at least keeping equilibrium on the other 2 lanes. Now, Scandal just jumps up here, finds Sing, and hasn't managed to TP, but he's mostly focusing on the backup, turning it around with the Definite Glass EMP, but so much health on this PL.
Yeah. Unfortunate that doppelganger just managed to still avoid a large number of spells and Silhouette. He's going back in, he's going aggressive. He says, let's take this fight. He won't get the kill on Sing Sing, and with the Ice Wall there, he won't find any follow-up, but that really shows the position this PL is in when he can make aggressive plays such as that. He's picked up a Demon Edge now, so I can only imagine that's going to be an MKB to help counterplay the Gyro Butterfly.
That should work pretty well against the Gyrocopter, who has already been proven a couple of times to not be as tanky as he'd like to be. I'm sure he has the mechanism behind him, the pipe as well, but just a couple spells go at him, and if the BKB comes out a little bit late or just expires, then you're going to be seeing that 2k HP pool chewed into very quickly.
And that last team fight in so many ways was like a dream fight. It was like a black hole not just on a PL, it got PL and Broodmother. So many things went right. The Rubik was dead. There was no Black Hole Steel. On top, and they used a buyback as well in Nature's Prophet, but they still lost it pretty badly. Smoke on smoke here at mid lane. Afterlife is going to be running in first. Gets stunned up immediately. The 4-star BKB coming into play as Cast not going to find any more targets to bounce to. Enigma in the front lane is not a position where he wants to be, but he's found King Eye on the side. If you can take out this Rubik, it does free things up to go for the Black Hole. It's still on cooldown for another 15 seconds, and Rubik dead marks his death spot with an X.
Yeah, Sing Sing with the gem stolen, and that's a Rubik actually dead for 48 seconds. This is going to be a full-on 5v4, the first fair fight that Kaipi can actually force out. The entire game, has been about Kaipi forcing a fair fight.
Fair fight? You call this fair? It's 5-on-4, Blaze. That's not fair. You've been very interesting.
For the way Empire's been playing, I'd say it's as fair as it can get.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Empire's not been a fair team. They're going all in. They got the Gyro Rapier. They're going for this. There's no way to steal the Black Hole. They can try and use the Raw to deal with it, but oh my gosh, Miposhka, luckily for him, he's got the Glimmer. Sunstrike is there. It misses though. They've taken out they've taken out the Raxi in the mid lane, but it's Beastmaster running the top lane. Black Hole is there. They're going into Afterlife as well. Scandal with the meteors, the damage there. Silhouette, he's dead. He's got buyback. Brood does not. Beastmaster's still going for the Radota place, but Invoker's gotten himself a triple core. They may just go for the throne here. What's the plan, Ramses? He gets the lane of Rax at top. He can't go for Mega Creep with the tier 2 tower, and he's going to come back and defend the base. Peel's got buyback, but Kaipi! They may have found a way to break through. The Rubik's there, but there's not really... Oh, how do you steal Black Hole? How long ago did he cast it? And the hero of this game, Rubik, catches everyone in it. Bone7's trying to fight his way through, but he's going to go down. He's going to lose the Rapier. Oh no, everything was looking so good. It still is though. Kaipi are buying back. They bring Gyrocopter back into the fray, and Empire have lost numbers here. The PL's low. He's going to heal up. He needs to get back to base, and he's alone except for Ramses. Ramses on this Beastmaster without Aurora has got to defend. Where is that goddamn Rapier? Who's got their hands on it? It's the Witch Doctor! Witch Doctor, he passes it back. It hadn't been picked up by Empire, so Bone7 has a Rapier to try and end this game. He's going to go for the Throne Blaze.
Oh my god, that's so insane.
I can't believe he gets Black Hole there. That is like...
That is ridiculous, but...
Unforgivable almost, but Kaipi going in, looking for the throne now. Bone7 with the Alacrity. He's got BKB, and I don't see a way to defend this. There's still no glyph. Silhouette's just going to blink on it. He's trying to fight his way through Bone7. Bone7's just flacking off the throne. He's going to get the kill. No, he's just going to go for the throne, and they've won. Kaipi take game 1. Holy hell. What a way for Kaipi to make their debut.
That's absolutely ridiculous, but it's not like it's any fault of Empire. They played an incredible game, a game where in most situations they were outmatched in their draft, and their Broodmother had a terrible start, but they were able to make such an impact across the entire map. The way they moved, the way they just pressed these lanes, it really felt like they were completely in control until that last set of fights. 4 Roshan's not enough, make it 5, because Empire end up losing out in that last fight. Still though, if there's one thing that I think Kaipi needs to take away from that, it's channeled spells need to be protected, because Kingar is going to grab them.
Yeah, Black Holes. I mean, Black Hole's one of those sometimes unavoidable ones, but Death Ward, again, it's like the golden rules of playing against Rubik as Witch Doctor. Proc your Voodoo Restoration while you're Death Warding. It doesn't cancel it, and you've got to prevent that steal. And unfortunately for Empire, despite the fantastic control they had over the entire game. They had the vision advantage. They had the Roche advantage. They had the Rex advantage. They couldn't secure the win. It was Kaipi coming up big when it mattered. And, well, Game 2 coming up. We're going to take a break. I'm GoDz. Joining me is Blaze. And you're watching the Starladder I-League Invitational. Don't go anywhere.